Some women bring light the moment they walk into a room. Others? Well, the light returns the moment they walk out. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't about bitterness. And it's not about blame either. It's about clarity. Because if you've lived long enough, and I know you have, you've seen it with your own eyes. Not everyone who laughs with you is a friend. And not every hand you hold is meant to hold yours back. Some women smile sweetly, speak softly, dress beautifully, and leave behind a trail of emotional wreckage you didn't see coming. And here's the truth most men avoid: life is too short, and too damn precious, to waste even 5 minutes of your peace on someone who confuses you, drains you, or makes you second-guess your worth. This isn't judgment. It's wisdom. Stoic wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. I'd add this: it also depends on the company you keep. In this video, we're not here to shame or attack, we're here to sharpen your clarity. To help you see what your heart already knows, and your mind needs to accept. Let's begin. 1. She's always the victim. The first sign of a woman who will quietly destroy your peace is subtle, but powerful. She's always the victim. And I mean always. Every story, every memory, every failed relationship, she's the one who was hurt, betrayed, or misunderstood. Her boss was threatened by her. Her friends turned against her. Her exes? All toxic. Somehow, life has been one long injustice, and she's the wounded heroine just trying to survive. At first, you might feel protective. Sympathetic, even. You think, maybe she just needs someone to finally treat her right. That's the hook. But give it time. Her stories never change, and neither does the script. Everyone wronged her. Everyone let her down. And slowly, without realizing it, you step into the role of her emotional caretaker, or worse, her next villain. I knew a man once, let's call him Tom. Good man. Divorced, mid-40s, heart still healing. He met a woman who seemed refreshingly open. She poured out her trauma on their first few dates. Tom admired her strength. But 6 months in, he was exhausted. Every conversation was about how others failed her. Every disagreement turned into an accusation. When he dared to suggest she take any responsibility, she flipped the script. You don't get it. You're just like the rest. This isn't about past pain. It's about control. A woman who clings to victimhood refuses to grow. She doesn't want healing, she wants power. Emotional leverage. And the moment you challenge her narrative, you become the enemy. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. But the woman who refuses ownership of her choices hands her power over to circumstance, and demands that you carry the emotional bill. And you will pay. In energy. In clarity. In peace. So what's the move? Simple. Don't play the rescuer. Don't rewrite your life to accommodate someone who keeps reliving the same wounds without ever trying to heal. You can offer compassion, but keep your boundaries. And if her story never changes, you step back. Not in anger, but in strength. Because protecting your peace is not selfish, it's stoic. 2. She's addicted to drama. The second sign is one you'll feel in your gut before you see it with your eyes. She's addicted to drama. And I'm not talking about the occasional bad day or emotional moment. We all have those. I'm talking about a woman whose entire life feels like a never-ending reality show, one she's directing, starring in, and rewriting by the hour. To her, peace is boring. Calm feels like punishment. If things get too steady, too quiet, she'll light a match, just to watch the fire. At first, the chaos might feel exciting. It might even seem passionate. But trust me, you're not falling in love. You're getting caught in a storm you didn't see coming. It usually starts small. Maybe you didn't text back fast enough, and suddenly, you're being accused of pulling away. A night that should have been relaxing turns into an emotional roller coaster. You're defending yourself, apologizing for things you barely understand, and she seems energized by the chaos. That's the danger. For people like this, drama is currency. It keeps the spotlight on them. It gives them control. And over time, you'll start living in reaction mode, walking on eggshells, anticipating the next meltdown like it's hurricane season. Seneca once wrote, "An angry man opens his mouth and shuts his eyes." That applies here. A woman addicted to drama doesn't care about truth or resolution. She wants intensity. And if you're the nearest emotional outlet, congratulations, you're the main character in our next episode. But here's where Stoic philosophy comes in: you don't have to participate. You don't need to match her energy. You don't have to fix the story. What you do need is emotional distance. When she escalates, stay grounded. When the storm rises, don't step into it. As Epictetus taught, we cannot control others. We can only control how we respond. So respond with silence. With space. With the calm refusal to be baited into chaos. Because the Stoic man is not easily moved by noise. He doesn't seek peace, he guards it. And if a woman's presence feels like a storm every time she enters the room, then brother, the most peaceful thing you can do is quietly walk out. 3. She controls you through guilt. Guilt. It's one of the most powerful forms of psychological control. You can't see it. You can't always name it. But you feel it, in your chest, like a pressure you can't shake. That tightness when you disappoint someone. That sinking feeling when she goes silent after you do something for yourself. That's not love. That's leverage. Some women, whether they know it or not, become masters at using guilt to control you. And it doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in quietly, like fog rolling across a field. At first, it looks like sensitivity. Maybe you cancel plans to catch up on work, and she gets distant. Maybe you mention needing space, and her energy shifts. She doesn't yell. She doesn't argue. She just withdraws. Just enough to make you feel like you did something wrong. So you adjust. You cancel that meeting. You skip the gym. You say yes when your gut said not tonight. And every time you do, you give up a piece of yourself to avoid that look, the disappointed sigh, the quiet treatment, the "I thought I mattered" silence. Before long, you're not making choices based on values. You're making them to avoid guilt. That's not connection. That's control. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And when guilt is steering the wheel, you're no longer in control. This kind of dynamic will drain you, not just physically, but spiritually. You'll start to lose sight of who you are. Not because she's bad, but because she's built a system where love is conditional, and you're always trying to earn it. So what's the Stoic move? Set boundaries. Real ones. Say yes when it aligns with your values, not just to avoid discomfort. Say no without over-explaining. Choose your actions based on reason, not emotional punishment. And when guilt comes knocking, when her silence tries to speak louder than words, stay calm. Stay centered. Respond with clarity, not apology. A man rooted in his purpose doesn't bend every time someone frowns. And guilt? It only works on those who doubt their own worth. Don't be that man. Be the one who walks in truth, even when someone tries to twist it. 4. She lacks empathy. So here's a hard truth life teaches every man eventually. The storms will come. You'll lose someone you love. Your business might take a hit. Your body may fail you in ways it never did before. And in those moments, when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you don't need a fixer, a cheerleader, or someone quoting Instagram affirmations. You need someone who can simply be there. But a woman who lacks empathy? She won't be. Oh, she might sit next to you. She might even say the right words. But you'll feel it in your bones, she's not with you. Not really. I once knew a man, let's call him James. Lost his father unexpectedly. The grief hit like a freight train. But his girlfriend at the time? Couldn't sit in the silence. Couldn't meet him in that pain. She shifted the subject. Turned the spotlight back to her. "You've been so distant lately," she said, 2 days after the funeral. "That's not a partner. That's a performance." Empathy isn't loud. It doesn't need speeches. It shows up in presence, in the quiet strength of someone who listens without needing to fix. Someone who makes space for your pain, not tries to shrink it. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." I'd say this: stop hoping someone will become what they're not. Accept who they are. A woman without empathy won't grow into it just because you love her harder. And if you're being honest with yourself, you already feel it. You open up, and she pulls away. You share something personal, and it gets dismissed or downplayed. That ache in your gut? That's your inner wisdom telling you, this is not where peace lives. Stoicism teaches us to face reality, not fantasy. And if a woman cannot meet you in your lowest, she has no place beside you in your rise. Don't beg for understanding. Don't plead for depth. Choose someone whose heart can hold space for yours. Because when the storms come, and they will, you deserve more than just a body beside you. You deserve presence. 5. She's obsessed with superficial things. It starts small. She wants the nice dinner, the designer bag, the luxury SUV. Nothing wrong with that, right? After all, who doesn't enjoy a little comfort and style? But here's where it shifts, quietly, dangerously. When her entire sense of worth is tied to how things look, not how things are. When she measures success by square footage, price tags, and how many likes she got on last night's Instagram post. That's when you've got a problem. Because here's what you'll learn the hard way: a woman obsessed with image will never be satisfied. Not with you, not with your life, and not with herself. You'll be in a constant race: upgrade the house, change your clothes, earn more, post more. And even when you hit the goal, she'll already be staring at the next rung on the ladder. Marcus Aurelius called these things externals. And in Stoic thought, externals are indifferent, they don't define our character or determine our peace. But for her, they're everything. I once knew a man, we'll call him David. 6-figure job, beautiful home, drove a fully loaded F-150. But his partner? Always comparing. Why don't we go to Cabo like Emily and James? Babe, did you see what her ring looks like? Nothing was enough. And slowly, David started losing himself, working longer hours, maxing out credit, skipping time with his kids, just to keep her satisfied. Except, she never was. Because the problem isn't the stuff. It's the emptiness inside her that no amount of stuff can fill. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." And a woman who craves constant validation through appearance is spiritually bankrupt. So what do? You stop chasing shadows. You stop trying to prove your value with things. And you ask the hard question: does she love me, or just the life I provide? If she can't see your worth without the wrapping paper, she was never looking at you in the first place. A Stoic man knows peace isn't parked in the driveway or worn on a wrist. It's found in depth, in values, in the kind of life you don't need to post to prove. 6. She can't admit she's wrong. You could lay out the facts, walk her through the timeline, show her text messages, receipts, screenshots, proof as clear as daylight. And still, she won't budge. Because when a woman can't admit she's wrong, you're no longer having a conversation, you're stuck in a never-ending emotional courtroom, and you're always the one on trial. At first, it looks like pride. Maybe she's just having a bad day, you think. But soon, you start noticing the pattern. It's never her fault. She'll twist the story, shift the blame, or change the topic entirely. What started as "hey, that really hurt me," becomes "why are you attacking me?" Or worse, "you always do this." Suddenly, it's not about what happened, it's about how you made her feel. This is more than stubbornness. It's a defense mechanism rooted in insecurity. For her, being wrong isn't just uncomfortable, it's threatening. It shakes her identity. So she fights tooth and nail to protect it, even if it means sacrificing truth, trust, or your sanity. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change. It is the truth I'm after." That's real strength. But a woman who fears being wrong will never grow. Because she's too busy rewriting the story to make herself the hero or the victim. And here's where it hurts you the most: over time, you'll stop speaking up. You'll question your memory. You'll start apologizing just to keep the peace. That's not love. That's emotional erosion. A healthy relationship isn't built on perfection. It's built on humility. On two people who can look each other in the eye and say, "I messed up. Let's make it right." So what's the Stoic move? Don't argue. Don't beg for accountability. Watch the pattern. And if it doesn't change, if she can't own her part, you step back. Not to punish her, but to protect yourself. Because if the truth has no place in the relationship, neither do you. Peace doesn't come from winning arguments. It comes from walking away when reason is no longer welcome at the table. 7. She disrespects your time. Time. It's the one thing you can never get back. You can earn more money. You can rebuild your health. But every minute you spend, especially on the wrong person, is a minute you'll never see again. And yet, some women will treat your time like it's disposable. She's always late. Cancels last minute. Forgets plans. Or worse, makes you wait, knowing you will. At first, you brush it off. She's just busy. Things come up. But after a while, the pattern becomes undeniable. She's not disorganized, she just doesn't value your time. And if she doesn't value your time, she doesn't value you. I knew a man, let's call him Richard. Mid-50s, ran his own construction company. A man who built his life from the ground up, by the hour, by the deadline. Then he met Elise. Beautiful, charming, magnetic. But consistently late. She'd cancel dinner 5 minutes before the reservation. Make him wait at the airport. Ghost him for a weekend, then reappear like nothing happened. He started rearranging his life around her flakiness. Missing fishing trips. Skipping workouts. Waiting on someone who never showed up. One afternoon, after getting stood up again, he looked at me and said something I'll never forget. "I feel like I'm always waiting." That's what happens when someone disrespects your time. They steal it, one text, one excuse, one delay at a time. And if you're not careful, they'll take years from you before you even realize what's missing. Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." You don't need to get angry. You don't need to make a scene. You just need to stop waiting. The Stoic man respects his time like he respects his life, because they are the same. A woman who truly values you will value your time. She'll show up. She'll be present. She won't treat your minutes like leftovers. So take a hard look. Are you always adjusting? Always waiting? Always last on her list? Then it's time to stop making her a priority. And start making your time sacred again. Because the most stoic thing you can do is stop wasting your life on someone who doesn't show up. Conclusion. Not every woman is toxic. But some, no matter how charming, beautiful, or put together they seem, will quietly dismantle your peace. And peace, my friend, is not something you trade for charm. Or convenience. Or the fear of being alone. You trade hours of your life, years of your energy, and gallons of your sanity trying to make it work with someone who was never working with you. This isn't about bitterness. It's not about blame. It's about clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." But I'd argue it also depends on who has access to your life in the first place. So here's your Stoic reminder: you are not here to fix broken people. You are not here to be someone's emotional punching bag, savior, or second option. You are here to live with purpose, with values, with peace. If someone repeatedly disrupts that peace, walk away. Not with rage, but with resolve. Because protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's sacred.